right. So we're going to look at our story again real quick. And then we're going to write about it. Thank you.
Me too. Me too.
All right. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you. I don't need. He's so disruptive. All right. So we are doing writing. We're going to be talking about writing. Excuse me. Second graders. No, you guys know how to do your work quietly and carefully. You're just supposed to be writing about the prairie dog's habitat. Rudy, you don't need to be going up there. All you need to write about is the prairie dog's habitat. You can get out your Chromebook, but Luis is full blown in your space and or in that space over there. I guess I need to put tape lines down on the table or something, section it off, because you guys can't be cramming into that table that close. Okay, so our story came up here. Our story for the day is called The Best Spot. And it's talking about where do animals live together? Where do animals live together? Okay. Okay.
This is a forest. This spot has lots of animals. Deer live here. They eat plants. But who is in the grass? A rabbit's head pops up. What is up there? Look, up, up, up. It is a nest. The mom gets big bugs. Yum. What is on the trunk? It is a nest too. Lots of wasps live in it. Ants live here too. Ants pick up twigs and grass. Ants zip in and out. Ants have no rest.
Yeah, you guys need to be sitting there nicely. Cambry, that's not appropriate. Take that off if you're just going to play in it.
Ants dig under sand
That tissue box
and
needs to be off
grass.
of your desk. Okay, you guys need to have your writing journals out in a minute, but not quite yet.
Fox kits hop on a stump. Mom fox lets the kits run and jump. The kits must eat. Dad fox hunts at dusk. Who went hunting too? A skunk. This spot has lots of animals.
Leave that at the end, right? So, where was the spot we were talking about? Where was it? What kind of habitat was this? First graders, your eyes need to be up here. Does anybody know what kind of habitat that was? Miranda? It said it right in the text. Where were they all living? Where were all those animals living? Cambry, you have one of the little dots that should not have ever been taken out of your desk. That needs to be. Go put it up on the table. Somebody's going to miss, or up on that shelf over there. Somebody's going to miss it. You guys were not even supposed to take those out. Do not put it in your pocket. Put it on. Thank you. Elizabeth?
The forest.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Ding, 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 ding. Elizabeth gets her bonus points for the day. It says it right there in the text. This is a forest. So that is what we are going to be writing about today. Excuse me, Jimmy. That is disruptive and it is loud and I don't like it. And I think you knew I wasn't going to like that because you looked at me right when you did it. Okay. So we're going to talk about... Okay. We're just going to write about a few of the animals that live in the forest. Okay. So, our date today, and this remember needs to go up on the very top, 11-23-20. Okay. If you are at home, you guys should have some paper as well to write on. And you guys can just write this right along with us, okay? But if you need to to write it later at the end of the day with it zoomed in a little bit more, pause, that's okay. All right. So we're going to say something lives in a forest. What lives in the forest? What's one of the first things they talked about? One of the first things they talked about that live in the forest. Miranda? Oh, Danny? Did you have a question? Sorry, Miranda. I got so excited. Danny had her little hand there.
So I have my writing journal, so I'm gonna go look for it because my mom just put it somewhere. So I know.
Okay, go get it. All right, Miranda, can you tell me what lives in the forest? Okay, what's the very first thing that says lives in the forest? All right, let's do that one first. Okay, we'll say deer. And we had one of this word last week is our sight word. Live. Live in the, now remember, I put a finger space after each word, right? And Anaya, do I randomly write a word on each line and then move on? No, I do not. Look what I do. I write as many words on that line as I can fit with a finger space in between each word so I can read them. And then I go to the next line. Now you guys, if you're shouting out, it's not helpful. Amy, take off those gloves while you are writing. You can't write with gloves on. Okay. Now, first graders, you guys have a little, or first and second graders, you guys have a little space in between your lines. I don't have that on my board, so we're going to pretend I have a little space, and we're just going to take that so you guys can see it better. Deer live in the, or for, I know how to spell the word for, and then I can make the sounds, eh. Deer live in the forest. What are some other animals that we read about that live in the forest? Danny, is that a raised hand? Why don't you also just show me too? Because it's like kind of hard with that little tiny thing. If I'm not watching everybody on there, then I can't always see.
So I cannot find my journal and I don't have no papers.
Hey, you're gonna have to figure something out. Okay? You've got to have paper and stuff at home. I was asking a question though related to what we're doing. So can anybody actually answer the question related to what we're doing? Pause and freeze. Put your pencils down. If you guys aren't going to listen, then you don't get to be writing while we're doing it. You need to wait. Amy, do your work, please. Okay, what else live in the forest besides deer? I see 2 people willing to participate. Oh, thank you. 2 more brave souls. Max, what else lives in the forest? What was one of the animals? They all live in the forest. Hint. All the animals you read about in the story live in the forest. Anaya, please stop stomping. Okay, Max, you need to actually have an answer ready. Anaya?
A rabbit.
A rabbit. Hayden, did you have another animal that lived in the forest?
Well, then put ketchup on it and you eat.
I actually haven't did one, but it is a owl.
Okay, we're talking about animals that were in the book that we read, okay? You're right, owls live in the forest, but let's talk about animals in the book that we read. Okay, can somebody tell me about animals in the book that we read? Cambry? Sorry, that's why I'm saying you guys don't need to be writing right now. Just listen, and once we move the recorder, you guys can write it, okay? You are way too close. Stop, right there. What, Cambry? Was the skunk in our story? Then yes, we can put it in here. So we can say rabbit and skunks live there too, period. No, you know what? Actually, I want to say live in the forest. Sorry. Live in the forest too. And we're going to keep it pretty simple. That's all we're going to do today. So it's not scary. Okay, it's not scary. If you're working at home, you might have to pause the video so y'all can look at that a little bit better. I'm going to stop it in just a minute. Hold on. Please be patient. What, Luis? What, Henry? Oh, quick. All right. First graders at home, I'm going to mute my side over here.
Okay.
Hayden, what's your question?
So
So A is 8 cents per pound.
I have actually two things. So my
What?
first thing is it's so silent. And my second thing is I'm going to when the writing is done, I'm gonna write it. Okay? If that's fine with you.
You're going to do what?
I'm gonna write the whole thing after, if that's okay with
No,
you.
you're gonna write it right.
Okay, looks like you got your marching orders. You're going to write it now, okay? You can totally do it now. All right, I'm going to put it on mute again.